And hello, everybody. We lost track of time there. I'm Matt from Shadow Moses 112, producer of our online platform, or I guess our YouTube channel. I don't know. And a co-designer for our products. I'm here with Pete.
Hello, guys. I'm Pete, creator, designer, social media personality, reviewer, ShadowMoses112.com. Yeah.
What? For those who don't know, anyone coming in for the first time, this is basically a weekly show we do, podcast, but it's a weekly show we do where we basically go over new product releases. Sometimes we'll do some reviews for products that we just got out, that just came out, or we just received, like in piles of loot, or just that we ordered. And then we also talk a bit about different media, movies, shows that are on TV and everything, and like where we're at with those and what we think is going to happen, and then just general conversation about that. And then sometimes we go into 3D printing a bit because that's something we both do. That we don't tend to stay on as much just because a lot of the viewers probably aren't watching for that content. And despite how much of a rabbit hole you could get into going on about that, it's also something that we don't really get caught up into too much. Although I think maybe we will a little bit tonight. I don't know. Last time I predicted something for an episode, I was off because we didn't talk about Metal Gear Solid 5 as much as I think we did, as I thought we were going to. But yeah, we're probably going to talk a little bit more about that tonight because I'm still playing it. But otherwise, yep, if you're new to the show, just welcome. Anyone feel free to engage in the chat. And then, yeah, just keep it relevant.
I was going to say, if I know 3D printing can get a little bit long-winded, and Matt and I jumped in when it was still very much kit bashes that you had to upgrade out the box. But I think we're at a point with 3D printing where out the box, your printer doesn't need the upgrades, and it should and could and will work for the most part. You have my word on that. I'm very confident in the market, seeing what everybody's putting out. Yeah. So now is a better time than ever to get into 3D printing. The fun part is designing the stuff.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I don't 3D print a whole lot of stuff, is because I don't finish a lot of things that I design, which probably needs to change. But I also get way ahead of myself in the design process, as anyone who's seen like a few of our episodes knows. When we talk about designing and stuff, I end up getting lost in details that aren't even going to show up in prints, or it requires a resin printer, and those aren't even set up for me because they're a pain in the ass. But then I also do get lost in the scale of things because I'm working on designing larger things like vehicles, and I don't have a printer big enough to print those as one piece, versus designing them so that they're smaller parts that have to be combined, and just a whole lot of technical complications that come with designing and everything. So yeah. But well, being that we're talking about 3D printers right now anyway, I haven't been using it, but I still love that Ender 3 V3KE that Creality put out. It's awesome. And then I know that something Pete and I were talking about before was if that becomes like the standard, because it does a lot of automated features out the box. The only thing that I really was worried about was how fast it printed, because it was shaking the whole table like this the whole time, and it's a cheap desk, so I just had to hold it still. But other than that, like it's a beast. It's awesome. The way that they designed it, it's so much cleaner. There's so much less maintenance and upkeep you have to do with wires being everywhere, especially anyone who's built their own kit or has made upgrades to their printers. There's so many different wires that you have, and then containing those becomes a problem as you add more and more features with it. And then people on Facebook don't answer questions. They just make comments criticizing things. Yeah. Right, Pete?
Yeah. Well, it's also hard to convey, like, yeah, you could say like what the problem is, but it's hard for people to grasp like exactly, without going into detail, what steps you've already tried. But some people have some ridiculous ideas that they'll suggest. They're just not really helpful. The best bet is to watch YouTube videos and try to figure it out and come up with a checklist and make sure you've gone through every step to help determine what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
So the other day I was just cruising around on Amazon and I actually saw this other printer that I felt was a larger kind of match for what the hell is this the Creality what?
Oh, I didn't think you were going to bring this up today, but that's awesome.
Why didn't I am? I mean, it's relevant. It's on sale, and it's so the reason I'm bringing this up actually is it's kind of curious to see. Oh shoot! Hold on, that's the wrong window. Share.
I'll be honest though, I still think 815 is a little high for this printer, and the only reason I'm saying that is because I have a Anycubic Cobra Max, which has very, very similar features.
So this is the Cobra Max, actually.
And I think I picked it up for about that price, $500.
Yeah, it's actually for Prime members. It's actually on sale for $399. But this is a printer that Pete, you'd have to attest more to it, but it has the auto leveling function. It has the Z offset, and it doesn't look like this one. I thought this one did, but it doesn't have the direct drive. It does still have a Bowden. Okay.
But that's not a big issue. So while you're putting it together, all you have to do is take off that stepper motor, that clear stepper motor there.
This right here.
And you already have the parts. So you'll just mount or print out a plate that can, and if you go to the plate a little bit to the other side, right there, past it, right in the middle. So you'll basically mount a plate right in the middle, in between where the hot end is and the current plate that's there. And it'll just be an extender that allows you to attach that stepper motor into the tubing there. And what's cool about that is it becomes direct drive. You have less problems with jamming, and you can do higher temperatures with that kind of stuff because of the way the gear extrusion works. You're not passing it through a tube, so it's able to push out a little bit more when it's directly in. The Creality that he was showing earlier, well, let me finish this one first. There's two problems with this printer. The first one is the lack of a direct drive. The second one, I watched a video prior to buying this and was told that there's an issue with the part cooling, but somebody had already designed brand new fan ducts to help point the air better into the print to be able to cool it while it's printing out. This is a fantastic price. If you don't mind that little bit of tinkering, this is a great large printer for you.
Yeah, $399 price. This is the not Prime deal price. But yeah, and then the one I saw before this was actually the Creality CRM, which is like an inch bigger, and then it's like basically 2 inches larger on your X and Y, and then it's like an inch taller in your print space. This one looks like it basically is the V3 KE at a larger scale, and I was thinking that this was such a well, this is on sale for anybody, but I was thinking that this was such a special product, and then I learned that the Cobra Max essentially does the same thing. There's a few, like Pete was just talking about, there's a few things that are give and take, but otherwise I was looking at this like this is exactly what we were talking about when we were going over the V3 KE. It's just a larger model because it's direct. It's the direct feed that Pete was talking about, and then it has
fantastic cable management.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, when I was assembling the V3 KE, it's these broad cables. Everything's really flat, and it's put in this really protective thing. I don't know. This print is a little more reasonable, but like even this print, I don't know that you'll get that level of detail on a print. Like when I was looking at the Cobra Max and like kind of hovering around it, like that's obviously not something that was printed on that printer. They just add it later in like Photoshop or whatever. like because it had a circuit board on it. Like printers don't print that.
The one thing I hear a lot of the reviewers complain about is that these larger printers don't come stock with a 0.6 nozzle, and I'm an advocate for leaving it at a 0.4, and here's why. Some of these reviewers are only printing like cosplay or larger items at that point. I personally use the printer for volume, so I'm able to print, let's say, like a full arcade on one bed versus having to piecemeal it from printer to printer. So to me, the 0.4 works out great. If you're interested in volume over size, then I suggest leaving the 0.4 on. The 0.6 might be unnoticeable to some people, but it does make a speed difference. I'm unfamiliar with it, so you would have to change certain settings and recalibrate and all that stuff.
Yeah, you'd really have to, and like any models that you've had with your 0.4 nozzles, you need to go through your slicer and basically update that entirely to that new nozzle. So yeah, I can't remember what the Orange Storm Giga is by default, but that might be a 0.6 nozzle just because it's so damn big. I'd have to look, but yeah, I'd probably change it to a 4 myself, especially because again, like I want to print larger things on that, yes, but I also enjoy the fact that when I have both print heads set up, I can print multiples of things, and like I can have a whole fleet of smaller prints. So like I can do eight of a print in one go because I have the 2 print heads running.
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking also that the other thing that I did to the Cobra Max is it comes stock with a glass textured top. All I did was flip that glass over, and now it's a smooth glass surface, and that's how I'm able to get like these very smooth finishes here.
Gotcha.
And that's what applies to the decal. So that's why I asked earlier about flipping your bed over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to look. I don't think it's because it's just a flat metal sheet, but I'd have to look. It might.
Yeah. If one side is textured and the other one's not, I'd go with the non-textured side. And it wouldn't hurt, but I buy cheap Aquanet spray to help it stick. You don't need it, but it helps it in the case that your bed is not perfectly leveled, which shouldn't happen with your V3 or my Cobra Max, but
Yeah.
better safe than sorry. One of those situations.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it for 3D printing. So other than that, there are some things that we talked about before that recently came in stock on Big Bad Toy Store. Like X-Men 97 figures. It was, what's it, the second wave?
Yeah, we talked about that a couple weeks ago, though, right? Are they?
Yeah.
You said they're coming in stock right now?
Yeah, they're on Big Bad Toy Store.
Ew. Well, I pre-ordered Nightcrawler. I don't know if I did the execution or not. I think I skipped it, but I haven't gotten any word of that yet.
Yep, right here.
Although I promise, if Mayfex does a version of Nightcrawler, I think I'll lose my mind. Just knowing what they did, yeah, with the Spider-Man.
The Gambit actually came back. Maybe it's gone. The Mayfex Gambit actually came back in stock for a bit.
Yeah, they're doing a. I don't know if you saw it that I posted on Instagram, but Kaiju Daddy had reported that they're doing restocks of Venom, Gambit, Blue Suit, Tiger Stripe Wolverine. He heard down the pipeline that they might do the brown suit Wolverine, and Carnage is a definite. He's coming back.
They might do a re-release of them.
Yes. Because
okay. So it already sold out. Got my pre-order in though. This just like came up on Wednesday or something. Like it was fast. That's funny. But yeah. Yeah. So
I'm glad to see that. I think I paid aftermarket for Black Suit Spider-Man because I missed out. Well, I didn't miss out. I originally said I wasn't going to get it because I was happy with the Marvel Legends.
Right.
But then I noticed that I had like 3 other Mayfex Spider-Man, and I was like, man. So I paid aftermarket, and that's when I realized that they do re-releases. The thing is, I'm also impatient. So.
You're very impatient. Oh my god. But yeah, so these came in stock. They also this guy just came in stock, and I thought this was kind of nuts. I don't really know why it's up, why I had it pulled up, but I will say that that's a really good price point.
Well, he does
think?
come with the sick ass throne. The
Right?
whole, yeah.
Like that's a really good price point for 160. You're getting a nice figure and this giant badass throne.
Yeah. I almost want it just for the throne, but I do like the classic Shokan look. Although I'm not taking away from this. It's just my nostalgia. It's not anything against the Mortal Kombat. Is this 9, I'm assuming? Oh, that looks good. Yeah, he looks good. New 112
Yeah,
scale. Shut up, it's 112 scale.
112 scale. It doesn't say which Mortal Kombat it's inspired by.
I remember when the Cyborg Ninjas came out, they used to say 112 on the box. They removed it during that run. I haven't really been paying attention. Actually, I think I got Nightwolf coming in soon. So we'll see.
Actually, this doesn't say 112, does it?
The description did.
That's Big Bad Toy Store's description, though.
But isn't that sent from the realtor or the maker? Like, here's what to put.
I think partially, but I think they do their own copy there.
Really? I mean, they have an exclusivity contract with them now, so shit better
Yeah,
be right.
but I don't know.
I was watching
like
the amazing review on Nightwolf, and I'm just like grinding my teeth because like apparently he's like taller than like the regular ninjas, and he's like as tall as the cyborg ninjas. And I'm like, man, fuck, Storm Collectibles, man, just pick a scale, just stick with your character size.
Yeah, I was at my storage unit earlier, and I didn't feel like digging through the madness to get my Gears of War figures. So, I know that Dom and Queen Mira are on pre-order. I think they might be sold out now. But
this is a Fast and Furious and Aquaman team up.
What?
Dom and Queen Mira?
No.
Dominic Toretto.
This is the last night for the stream. So anyone who's watched, thank you. Pete killed it though.
Sorry.
And I will not be at con because I can't associate with this clown.
I just announced it like 10 minutes ago. You
just he's defending the ocean with his whole new family.
Right? I hope they have like a scene of like Dom driving his like Charger in the ocean.
And Aquaman's on Storm Storm.
He's like holding the Charger in his hands, helping it propel forward.
Who's texting me?
Trying to get the black things out. No.
What?
No. I think I'm done with this joke.
Yeah, if I'm checking my phone during it. So elsewhere, we also got some upcoming G.I. Joe figures. I couldn't find these. I know Praeternia was posting them on their Instagram account, like here and there. I don't know because Instagram's stupid. I don't know if they were posting them one at a time chronologically or whatever. So I found them on His Tank. I think I've been here one other time on their podcast, but basically there are, I guess, like a handful of new figures coming out. It's not as many as I thought, but they're not on Hasbro's website because Hasbro's a real smart company. Maybe if you didn't lay off like 17% of your work, 1,700 people, you'd have the ability to like list upcoming releases. But we have Lemmy. Okay. So it doesn't let me. Cool. Okay, so we're not going in that order, I guess. So they don't even have the names.
Classified Doc is at the bottom. Doc and Torch.
Oh. There's a stupid little window that pops up when you share the screen that just covers that. So yeah. So here we go. Classified Doc. Kind of cool that it comes with a stretcher. It looks collapsible. I'm pretty sure that these are going to be hinges in there. I like that it has a flare gun.
I wonder if that's his backpack also. Or does he have like something else?
Oh, I'm curious. That's a good point. But yeah, then we have Torch, who I called Lemmy.
The Ace of Spades.
Yeah. Who has a lot of fire accessories, almost as many as the Engine of Vengeance did. And then we're just compressing them. We don't know how to do one picture at a time. Cool.
I don't know why, but every time I see the Dreadnoks, I always think of that they would probably go to a Pink Skulls concert.
So then we have Gnawhide, which is just a crazy name. I like that they have a few figures that come with animals. I'm kind of lumping dogs into that category because I know that we have Crockmaster, but now we have Gnawhide with a boar and a monkey.
Yep, we just got Mutt and Lockjaw.
Yeah, and then I know that Snake Eyes and Timber were a set. Then there's
Shipwreck and the Parrot.
Yeah, I forgot about the parrot. That's funny. I like that this guy, and then actually one of the other ones that came out not too long ago.
What was the
Lola?
Native American one? Comes with the eagle.
I forget.
Yeah, but I love the animals being included in there.
Yeah. I like that the boar actually, or the warthog actually has some articulation on him too. The monkey looks like a static figure, but it's kind of small, so it doesn't really
giving mad Hakuna Matata vibes.
But I like also that he comes with a weapon case. I think that's a cool accessory. And then I think Lowlight was another G.I. Joe that recently came out and came with one. Might not have been Lowlight, but forget who it was. Then we have Jinx, who is a ninja. What else to say about her? Night Creeper.
I was thinking about Jinx and taking some nail polish remover to the logo on her shirt, so that way she could be a female red ninja.
Yeah, and I was actually thinking like it looks like a good red ninja. It's always curious though, because these are like it says at the bottom, digital renders, and I love how clean these look from any studio. But I mean, there's always a difference between having this and then what the figure looks like in your hand. I'm always curious to see where like compromises are made in terms of the display and like the overall product. And that's the app. What is this? Oh yeah, that's right. This isn't available yet. 3-0 is putting out another Iron Man figure in their DLX line. Really weird that they call it the DLX line because it's 1/12 scale, like domestic 1/12, but the MDLX scale is Transformers, and those are at like a 6-inch scale, but it's MDLX. Just weird. But 3-0 has all kinds of weird shit going on. These are awesome figures, though. They're all die-cast. I've talked about them before. So, yeah, that pre-order should be coming up soon. I know there was something else that I had for Toy Art coming up, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, yeah. We have the retro Batman wave. Oh, and I also saw, now that I'm remembering, there is a Lobo figure. Yeah, Lobo on his bike. It's a $70 figure. Like, oh, McFarlane.
What does he come with? Does he come with like extra hands? Is the chain removable?
Here we go. That's it. Crazy ass guitar.
I love it, but why couldn't you put more hands?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
You would have put in like 2 or 3 more hands, like 2 sets of hands, 2 more sets of hands.
Even if a set of them is fists.
I like it though. I wouldn't say this is worth 70, but it's close, man. It's got the
Yeah,
got the pet, got the guitar, got a weapon, got
yeah,
hands.
Like it actually looks pretty decent. There's a good amount of detail on this. And it's a 7-inch scale, so it is larger, but $70.
You kind of look like Wayne Static right there.
Rest in static, you crazy fuck. And also, rest in peace, Carl Weathers.
Oh, for real.
Yep, it's a tragedy. Carl Weathers or not, you want to admit it.
Man. I was just thinking about like being born in the 80s and stuff, growing up on all that stuff. But just to see him like still doing like Happy Gilmore when we got older, still doing The Mandalorian as we got of age.
Yeah,
just amazing stuff. Hell of a legacy.
Yep, Predator. I've seen a lot of things for Predator. And Rocky. I was like, there's something else that he was in. It was Rocky.
Did you see Sylvester Stallone's tribute on for Carl Weathers? That was pretty nice.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the guy a long time. Sorry, that was Adam Sandler's tribute.
Yeah, so this is our last podcast.
Yep, said it earlier. I'm really tired, man. Tired of your shit.
Oh
No. Earlier, I didn't want to segue right into it earlier, but speaking of aftermarket, I recently got this little number. So Revoltech has a line called Revo Geo, where they basically make big ass insects, and they're kind of fucking awesome. I got it at a really good price because they're typically around $100, but he's like they articulate and everything. They actually have a lot of articulation and range of motion. But I just got him in this flying pose. The stand is a little weak. I'm surprised it's held him up for so long. But I thought this was a cool little grab. A while ago, I actually grabbed some ants from them. And so this guy comes in a 2-pack. I would like to see some more ants because I think they would scale pretty well with like my SH Figuarts Ant-Man. I know that SH Figuarts actually did a set from the Ant-Man movie with Ant-Man and Anthony, but it would be cool to have some more ants for the figure. So yeah, I'm picking these up. They also have like scorpions and shit. They're hard to find because they came out a while ago and people are like, well, I want $300 for it. And I'm not paying that much for a giant scorpion. When I could go to like Hobby Lobby and pick up one that Schleck makes for like $30 or something. But like they have full range of motion. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
How much were the ants running for?
These were $100.
God,
yeah, it was basically $100. I can't remember exactly. I think I got them off Big Bad Toy Store. I might have gotten them on Ami, but I forget because they're Revo Geo, so they're not domestically made. One other downside to them is you do need the stands to have them stand because their legs are so like thin.
So they don't come with stands for $100?
No, they come with stands. You need to use the stand.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they come with.
Oh, okay. I see it.
So it's actually 2 ants. Like I just didn't take the second one out.
$100, $50 an ant.
Yep, and then they come with little eggs.
Okay.
Only one stand though. That's kind of a bummer. Yeah, only one stand. That's kind of dumb. Now I'm really upset about the purchase because they only came with one stand. What the hell is that?
I'm more upset at like these eBay people trying to sell Megatron for $600.
I understand that. And they're not doing a re-release. Like I don't think you're ever gonna see them do a re-release.
I'm hoping for like Macari open box, for some money. I don't know.
Oh, I found one for $300, but he's missing his leg. Like basically that type of deal.
I don't think I could do that. I don't know if I could do that. If something snapped, I think I'd still close the deal on that. because if I could fix it, like I'd have to look at it.
You can just 3D print him a new leg, Pete.
Well, then the leg won't look right. Now I have to paint it.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's not the same. So I don't know what else. Do you have anything else to go over before I digress?
Do I? Not really.
I flew through those few things that I had.
I mean, there's a couple things. I don't know if they're really like worthy of the podcast, but I did pick up a new phone. I'm usually anti getting new phones. Like I will have a phone until the phone tells me that it wants to die. And at that point I will see that it has a proper burial. But I was looking over an ad that I saw for the Samsung S24 Ultra and was really intrigued by the cameras that come with it. So there's 5 freaking cameras on it, and they are for gearing towards photographers at this instance. And I watched some reviews on it and thought that this would be a good addition or an alternative to the Nikon that I use. And as much as I love the Nikon, it's still, and don't get me wrong, this is still superior to the phone. It would make ease of use while still maintaining quality. And I could do all the editing on my phone because I have an app for that too. So I picked it up as a business purchase, like in that mindset, instead of saying, "Oh, I need a new phone." There's other features on there, like there's like AI photo editing. So basically, the things I was showing you on Photoshop earlier, the phone can actually do some of that native.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. There's also live translation. So if I was on the phone with somebody from another country speaking a different language, I could talk naturally, and in real time, it will translate over to the person I'm speaking to.
That's crazy.
That was pretty crazy.
That's impressive.
There's other features on it I don't really care about. I do like that there's a titanium trim. I would say it's supposed to protect the phone, but I don't think it's thick enough to do anything.
What megapixel is the camera, Pete? What megapixel?
I think it said something like it's 500 megapixel for the.
Get out!
Yeah, it's supposed to sound like I said, almost comparable to the Nikon.
I was like looking at mine. I'm like, that's not bad because mine's 50, and you're like, fuck that times 10.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Damn, that's pretty crazy. Definitely not worth having on a podcast though. So thank you for those 2 minutes. Did you finish Reacher yet?
I did finish Reacher. I also wanted to say that it does shoot in 8K ultra high def at 30 frames a second, and does 4K video at 120 frames a second. So I think I'm going to use this for reviewing moving forward.
Yeah.
120
frames per second is way too much. Like, did you see Avatar, the second one? Avatared?
No.
So I did. It's basically the first one over again, just this time with Waterworld in mind. But parts of it are shot, or not shot because it's computerized, but parts of it are 120 FPS, and it's way too much. Like, you really shouldn't go above 60 FPS because your mind, well, like you can handle 120 obviously because they could do it, but like it makes it look so much faster and unnatural. So I didn't really understand the whole concept of that, really, like why there's such a difference, until I went to YouTube and I watched a video of a person doing like a kickflip on a skateboard, and they showed it in like 60 versus 120. It looks so much more natural at 60 frames per second rather than adding all those extra frames in there for 120. It's insane. And like during Waterworld, during Avatar 2, they're like, rather than moving like this in like a fight scene or something, it's like it's like too much for you to actually process. and it just looks unnaturally fast. So it's kind of interesting that they like that. It's almost like we need more than 4K resolution. Like, no, you fucking don't. like, like eventually they're gonna be like, this movie was filmed with 1,800 colors on the spectrum. I'm like, yeah, cool. So fucking shrimp can watch it. Like, there's like, we're getting to the point where like you don't need to go that far because our bodies can't receive more of that. Like, this movie is filmed at like 180 gigahertz frequency. I'm like, cool. My dog can't hear that. A bat can watch the movie and understand it, but like, fuck me, right?
Well, the rich will just be like, well, upgrade your body, loser.
Yeah. Oh my god. I haven't watched it for some reason, but like Altered Carbon is basically that premise. Like, I don't know why I haven't watched that because I heard it was good.
The first season's good. Anthony Mackie takes over, and it's nothing against Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
It's the writing. The writing is fucking god awful that second season.
Damn. Yeah, I know Anthony Mackie takes over the second season. I was going somewhere else. Oh. So what'd you think of Reacher?
It was good. I like the little sneaky Terminator jokes that they put in there on top of that. But
Where was another one besides the Sarah Connor one? Which
I think
supposedly was incidental.
yeah, I think there was one on the plane that he said. I just can't remember it. But
Does he?
what was I going to say? I didn't like the part that they kept on talking about Swan, and it was almost a red herring. Like he wasn't in the show at all.
Well,
I get it.
that's
Yeah.
that's Lee Child. And yeah. Yeah. I
Reacher's
read
awesome.
what?
Reacher's awesome. The
I mean, he's basically a traveling Batman. I don't know. I keep seeing awesome videos of Alan Richson from Blue Mountain State, and I love sending those to people. Did you watch the one I sent you guys?
I saw the one where he's like trying not to get tempted. He goes to the party. He goes, "Don't drink anything or eat anything that these guys offer you." And then the
So
cheerleaders come up.
this one I recently sent you was Alex Moran is walking down the hall of their house at like their college house, and he has this hot chick with him, and they're like going to his bedroom, and Thad Alan Richardson stops him. He's like, "Let me see the condom you plan on putting on my quarterback's weenie." And he takes it and he pours beer in it, and like all this beer comes out from holes in it. And she's like, I'm sorry, Alex. I just want you to put a baby in me. And then he's like, get out of my house. Like at this crazy high pitch. It's so good. So good. It's just it's funny to watch him go from like how absurd and ridiculous that character was to
Reacher,
to no nonsense Jack Reacher, yeah.
yeah, it's wild.
And then so right now, actually, I just picked up the Volume 1 collection of Metal Gear Solid, and I'm at Chapter 2 in Metal Gear Solid 5, and I don't know why they're so surprised that all this shit's happening when Eli is clearly a little shit kid. I don't, but like as soon as I saw Eli, it was like Lord of the Flies all over. Like he has a conch shell on his belt. Are you familiar with Lord of the Flies at all?
Yeah, severed pig
Okay.
heads all around. Yeah,
Yeah, the pig head is definitely a dark ass reference to Lord of the Flies. But like the conch shell, and then you use the conch shell to get the Fulton extracts for children.
yeah.
I haven't gotten the wormhole though. I'm really annoyed. I haven't gotten the wormhole extract, and I'm like, what the hell? I've killed Sahelanthropus. I don't know what the fuck I'm waiting for.
I think you have to. It's like a side op. You have to find somebody that specializes in wormholes and then save them, like extract a scientist.
That sounds so weird. I'm doing I have to extract. I'm doing an important side op right now, so it might be the one I'm on. But yeah, speaking of this, well, skulls are just terrible enemies. They're just they have no place in that game. Like they're just yeah, they're stupid. Like it's this enemy who's levitating rocks and throwing them at you. They move around in a flash and they generate this armor. And then they have this stupid little Uzi that fucks your whole life up. And then they have a sword, then they just go, "Ugh." Or they do like this dashing and then like dropping slash attack that you can counter, but you can't counter the lazy swing. Like they're just such bad enemies. They're so dumb. They're so dumb. Like I enjoy the game, but I hate enemies like that. I'm like, you did not think about the practicality of this in a game that the whole setting is tactical espionage action. So I'm gonna put a human tank with a rock face in here and just completely throw all of that out the window and just say, here's a god for you to fight. Like, what the hell? It's so dumb. The sniper battle was cool, but like it's a sniper battle, so it's always gonna be cool. Unless it's Vamp when you have to shoot him as he's walking along the struts in Metal Gear Solid 2 going to like suck somebody's face off or something.
I love the game. I'm not gonna lie.
It's fair. I mean, I'm enjoying it, but like they're just such a stupid oddball. And
Yeah, I get the
I wish-
concept of them as stupid, but they're not as hard as Matt's making it sound.
I had to use all of my grenade launcher and all of my rocket launcher to take out them because they only throw them at you 4 at a time.
Mhm.
Like I had to use, and I had the upgraded. It's not the fully upgraded, so it's the first tier of the 6-round grenade launcher, and then I had the level 3 Grom, which did damage half the time. Like it would either wipe off a large section of their life or it would be negligible. Although I will say that the Grom was awesome for fucking up Sahelanthropus. Like I was using the Killer Bee and I'm like, this thing sucks. And then I switched to the Grom. I'm like, I'm destroying it now. But I also used the Zorn just because that's a funny little grenade launcher pistol.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like the other thing is that mission that was pissing me off with the 4 of them, I got an S ranking on it. So I'm like, at least the game doesn't decide like you hate this mission, good, because you're a fail. Like I keep getting S rankings on missions that piss me off. So like I'm doing something all right. It's just
Yeah, like I said, it's timing. It's if you beat the level fast enough, you'll get the S. It's not an issue.
yeah, it is a lot of timing actually, because I just did a mission where I literally I figured that there were going to be prisoners because it's a larger area of the map. I went to the nearby village and freed that person. Then I went, saw the walkers going towards the guy in the desert, and then I took the one out. Like I try not to kill people in the game when I can avoid it. So I shot him in the leg on the back of the walker, and then he eventually fell off. I extracted his walker because I love stealing shit. And then I went and got the guy, carrying him out during a sandstorm, which was perfect timing. And then once I just extracted him, and then sometimes after you complete a mission, you have to get out of the hot zone. I didn't realize that when I was carrying him, I went far enough to get out of the hot zone, so I immediately completed the mission. And I wanted to play around in that arena some more to get the other prisoner, but I already completed it. So it's whatever. Yeah. I'm really curious to see what goes on with the remakes. Like I'm really interested in what they do with Metal Gear Solid Delta. I don't know, like, and then going along from there, like if they're gonna do retconning or if they're gonna do a better way of like really working everything out. So like the games as they came out in release order, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't quite click, but I don't know if they'll just slap on like this story thing that just makes sense, or if they'll do it like a PlayStation 5 does an update patch where it basically starts all over from scratch, integrates the patch into it so that that becomes your new game file. It's a weird comparison, but like I'm curious to see if that's what they do with the Metal Gear Solid games. So everything is just a lot more cohesive rather than having these kind of silly like the stinger from Metal Gear Solid 2 was after the credits, there's the little codex talk where it's like the Patriots died 200 years ago, and you're like, what? And then Metal Gear Solid 3 comes out as a prequel to all the released games so far. So I don't know.
Right.
But one thing I am curious about in Metal Gear Solid 5 is who was the guy helping me escape the hospital in the beginning that had the bandages all over his face. So I'm still waiting for him to come back in some way. I don't know if he actually will, but I feel like they were doing more than just healing Snake or Big Boss in that hospital. And I'm hoping, I feel like they're just throwing all this other stuff in so we kind of forget, and then we like look back and that we're like, ew. So like, I don't know. I'm curious. But I'll get there eventually. I don't understand what was unfinished about the game.
And when you get to chapter 3, you'll feel it a little bit.
Oh, there's a chapter 3. Okay.
And then but chapter 3 is kind of bullshit. I don't know how else to say that. There's like story elements that feel rushed when you get to the end, and then story elements that are unanswered. But the parts that are answered are fulfilling to the overall story of Metal Gear. So it's weird. It's like they completed one package, they rushed another package, and then they didn't finish the package. But you already know where that package is going. So
you know why it wasn't finished, right?
Yeah, of course.
Why?
Because God hates us all.
No, that's true. But God also doesn't exist. But because they went over budget and Konami wanted to focus on making non-AAA games anymore. Like, what the fuck were you like going over budget? Yeah, that's not ideal. But you want to get away from AAA games. So why in hell are you letting him continue his Metal Gear saga, which is one of the largest things in gaming, like contemporary gaming, is Metal Gear Solid, and like you're just like, well, no, you're done now. Like, no. I don't really care about the online things. I really hate when they force me to go through the tutorial for that, because I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing anything with fobs or invading anybody's shit. Like, I don't care about that at all.
They're still very much alive too, and they have.
I know, but that's also why I'm like, Konami, what were you thinking? Like, reach some sort of compromise so that the product he puts out is actually like completed, and then close the deal from there. If
you turned a blind eye to if you were unaware of the drama behind it, the game does feel complete.
I mean, I know that there's more than just probably going over budget and doing all those other things. Like, Kojima could have been just tired of the expectation for Metal Gear Solid games, and then people just maybe hating on it time and time again. Like, I know that does happen, and then people leave because they can't handle that amount of stress. But like, he also did go on to create Death Stranding, so I don't know if Metal Gear Solid was too confining as a creative product for him, because I saw parts of the trailer for Death Stranding 2, and I'm like, what is going on? I saw a baby throw up a spaceship and a Jared Leto looking weird guy using a guitar gun.
Did you play the first one?
No, I'm actually going to. I just don't have time to sit through 2 hours of introduction cutscenes.
So Guitar Guy was the villain of the first game.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured. Okay,
but he wasn't as, I don't know how to say this without spoiling it. He wasn't as animated as he was the first go around, personality wise.
Okay.
Same voice actor. Troy Baker does the voice acting for that. But
Yep, and that's Revolver Ocelot in this one. Yeah. I'm honestly, I am looking forward to Metal Gear Solid Delta, because I do want to see it, and like, it would be cool if they actually like finished everything that they wanted to for 5. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with that.
You
Is
might want to go
Kojima
back and play the Nintendo one,
what?
the MDX version, the first Metal Gear.
Yeah, that's on. It's on volume 1.
So after you beat 5, go back and play that.
I probably will. I'm probably gonna play through them in like release order.
Yeah.
I hope that they fixed it because Nintendo games have always run a bit rough. But yeah, I do want to go back and play through them because they are fun. Although
I remember getting that game and just being immediately addicted because it wasn't like the platformers that I was used to playing before. You actually had to be careful and like not shoot people and be mindful of the rooms you were in. For a Nintendo game, like, oh, there's gas in this room. Let me equip my gas mask real quick so I don't die.
yeah,
Yeah. Wild stuff.
and that's something else that this game has been doing that's really, and maybe they'll touch on it later, but like when Quiet attacks the guy with the knife, like they never offered up any reason why. I'm pretty sure it's because he had the virus
Yeah, that
and
was it.
she was gonna probably kill him so he couldn't spread it. But like
That's exactly it. Yeah.
they're basic they never touched on why. They were never like, ew. And I think like that's kind of dumb. And then Quiet, like they threw stupid little liquid baby snake. He threw that necklace down into the chloric acid and
To
then
fuck with the kid, yeah. That's fucked up.
yeah. And then Quiet jumps down there and like gets it, and I'm just like, and I'm waiting for Kaz to be like a bad guy. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but I had expectations that Kaz was actually going to be a bad guy. I also think it's really fucking weird and comes out of nowhere that they start chapter 2 with Kaz being like, someone's a fucking spy. Don't trust anyone. And they have all these stupid posters everywhere saying Big Boss is watching you. I'm like, what is going on in this game? This is completely out of left field that we're at this point. So like there's no in between. Like everything's hunky dory. We just killed this giant mech and now it lives on our base with us. And then the next chapter starts off like someone here's a spy and you don't trust anybody with anything. And I'm like, what changed? So I don't know.
It's like small story elements, like they find the AI capsule and they're conversing.
Yeah, but that's afterwards. Like I just did that side op to recover the AI pod. And I also, because I think there's 43 missions in the game overall, story missions. I like 31 and 32 are replaying older missions with different settings. I'm like, that's stupid. But like these side ops, I was half expecting the side op for the AI pod to become like one of the main missions, but I'm like, no, it's just a side op. So I don't know. It's like this, it's already starting to feel a bit rushed and incomplete with things, and I'm just like kind of bummed about that. So I don't know. But yeah, then he has this new game. Kojima has that new game, Fizzint, coming out, and I'm like, what is that? And I didn't even look into it. What studio's doing that?
It's still Kojima Productions. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so he has his own thing right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's part of his move to PlayStation that he got his own studio.
Gotcha. And then actually Naughty Dog is working on their new IP, which is a space. And I've known this for a while, that they've been focusing on a new IP and it was going to be in space. So I'm curious to see exactly what that'll be.
What? You did not say what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to talk about The Last of Us 3.
No, they're doing a new IP entirely. Takes place in space, and it's a PlayStation exclusive. So I'm guessing it's gonna be intended to rival Starfield, because and I don't know if I actually saw like an official poster or anything for it. Let me try and see if I can find it. Naughty Dog Space game. Bleh.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested in Fizzant. I'm not gonna lie, just because I'm a huge Kojima fan.
Yeah, I don't. There's. It looks like there's no official media or anything for that IP. But I'm really curious to see exactly what it's going to be like. I feel like it's going to be a fairly linear game. I don't because Naughty Dog hasn't really put anything that was open world out there, and I think that's actually the strong suit for the way they tell stories is doing a more linear game. And I'm just curious to see exactly what it is supposed to be. I know that Last of Us Part 2 actually has some more open world areas.
Okay.
Like when you finally get to play it, there's really only one area kind of early in the game where you're in a city and you can go explore all these different areas, or you can literally go to the two objective things and then go back to the linear progression of the game. Yeah. I don't think there's anything quite like that elsewhere in the game. But I really like, and that's what Gears 5, excuse me, did, was they had basically Act 3 was this giant, well, not giant, but it was this large area that had all these different like side missions that you could do, and then Act 4 was in a different environment, kind of the same thing. And like, it's curious to see these developers take those kind of changes into their gameplay. And Gears 6 is supposedly going to be entirely open world, so curious to see what this upcoming space IP from Naughty Dog will be.
I have not got a chance to play or finish playing The Last of Us. So we're still there.
Yeah. Other big news. We'll be at AwesomeCon.
We will be at that place with the stuff, man.
Why did we not open with that?
I have no idea. Yeah, we will be at AwesomeCon. We officially paid for our table last week. We're just waiting on placement. We are discussing what items to bring. If anybody has any feedback on what they would like to see us bring there, we will definitely make it. So just let us know. The other thing is the benefit of ordering through us there is you're not going to pay the taxes or the shipping that you would normally pay if you ordered online.
You will. We will. I'll charge you. I'll charge you shipping.
We will also have maybe like some promotional deals. We still have a lot to discuss about how we're going to handle things.
Yeah.
Because I know they don't provide power, so we're going to bring a generator with us, and we got to figure out how we're going to charge that in between the days that we're there, and how not to overuse it. I think last time I had a laptop running a full video the whole time we were there. Probably not doing that this time, just to conserve some of that sweet generator juice.
Lame.
Let's see. I know I am planning on buying another rack like this to bring, so that way we have two displays properly showing off everything.
Wait, are we doing 3 days or 2?
We're doing 3 days, unless we sell out of everything in 2 days. I mean, that would be.
I just remembered that we're doing Friday also.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh,
but Friday's like some odd hours. It's like 1 to 6, 1 to 7, something like that.
Yeah, I figured Friday would be weird hours. Okay. Yeah, that just registered in my brain. I was like, oh, snap.
Yeah, but I'll probably take off that day, get there as early as possible just to set up and walk around. See if I could run into Rosario Dawson, Hayden Christensen. I can't remember some of the other names. I know they have the Smallville cast coming.
Alan Ritchson?
He was
Aquaman.
He was Aquaman.
Yeah, I never watched Smallville, but he was Aquaman. Aquaman, and in Smallville.
Tom Welling, that's his name. I couldn't think of it for a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't go to cons. They're weird. Not for
Really,
me.
they're a lot of fun, man. I love seeing people what they cosplay as, and there's not really deals on figures. Sometimes you get some gems, but most of the time it's like people trying to rip you off on figures.
I mean, everyone inflates the pricing for the con, and I get it. I will say that a con is the first place that I saw like statues at, and I was like, I understand now.
Mm-hmm.
It was at Awesome Con actually, and there were these people that were selling like premium format and probably other statues that I didn't see, and I was like, I understand why people like these now. And actually, I have a Taskmaster, like comic version Taskmaster statue that's going to be shipping this week. Pretty excited. I also have this fucking giant Godzilla statue coming. That's going to be probably the biggest statue in my collection. Although it might still not be as big as the Doom Slayer because that's like a 36-inch tall statue.
Doom Slayer. The Doom Slayer said unto the people, tip your waitress.
I don't know. So what else you got, Pete? Anything?
Sorry, I'm just looking at the Awesome Con list and trying to see like what other celebrities are going. So it looks like they have some people from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. David Yost, the original Blue Ranger, is going to be there.
They brought back. Well, no, they did a new season or a series of Power Rangers, and he was in it as Billy. And I don't know what that is about.
What are you talking about?
They did
right?
David Yost played Billy, you said, right?
Mm-hmm. Also one of somebody who I've been following for quite a while is the franchisee. He's going to be at the con as well. There's not, I know Pac Photos is going to be there. A lot of cosplayers, a lot of comic book artists otherwise. I know Rosario Dawson, Hayden Christensen, Michael Rosenbaum. That was the other name I couldn't remember. I could have swore there was more this year. Oh, Natasha Liu Bordizzo, who plays in Ahsoka, is going to be there. Oh, Orlando Jones is going to be there. Very awesome.
That's funny.
Rachel Lee Cook.
Drumline's a stupid movie, but Orlando Jones is funny in like Evolution and The Replacements.
I remember from American Gods doing the Anunzi speech. Oh, Shameik Moore was supposed to go. He canceled though.
So yeah, David Yost reprised his role in the 2023 season of Power Rangers.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
He was fighting it's with like all new people, like it's a young cast and then him. And I was like, what's going on here?
Jason David Frank used to do that quite often, man. Like he would pop up and he wasn't always the green or white ranger either. So whatever season that was, he would be like that ultimate ranger for them.
Okay.
And that's why it's pretty sad that he like killed himself, man, because he was pretty big in that Power Rangers community. And
yeah,
he was even making like a tribute movie before he died. That was kind of based on the Green and White Ranger.
And then, it's a separate thing, but like Trevor Strand of the Black Dahlia Murder, like killed himself, and like that's a crazy thing. That not like crazy, but like it's a wild thing to think about. And suicide hotline, people, if you need it.
So looking back, Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob, is going to be there. Tony Todd, the Candyman and Venom in the current Spider-Man 2 PlayStation game.
Wait, he does the voice of them?
Yeah. Tony Todd.
Venom was pretty awesome in Spider-Man 2. I will say that. I mean, I know you'll play it in 10 years.
I know, man. I need a good weekend just to knock out some stuff.
Spider-Man 2 didn't live up to the expectations of the first one. I will say that.
I'm hearing both. I'm hearing it was a great sequel. I'm also hearing that it wasn't enough. I don't know. So we'll see.
I think that they made some weird decisions in the production of it. I am excited for the third one because it's not a bad game, but I don't know. They took some creative liberties that I'm not a huge fan of, and more so in the long term, I think that they'll be problematic. But we'll see.
We'll see.
Yep, you won't until like your son's in college. But I'm really curious to see what they do for Wolverine. Like, I don't know enough about Logan to kind of predict an open world game, or if it's going to be a linear campaign. I just don't know enough about him as a character to really kind of make that assessment. And then, is it an origin story, or has he been Wolverine for a while? Like, I don't know. I think he's a much more complex character to do a game on, just in general, because there's so much expectation for what and who Wolverine is as a character. That's going to be risky. Like Spider-Man, I feel you have a lot more leeway because there's so much you can pull from. Like, and then Logan or Wolverine as a solo character, I feel never got quite as much attention as he did when he's known for being in the X-Men. You know, I don't know if I'm making any sense at all. It would be kind of interesting if they did like an origin story where he's fighting the Hulk. Because that's the first appearance of Wolverine, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with that game. I know that apparently the X-Men Origins Wolverine game was really popular, and I watched the streamer kind of play parts of it. My friend Alex said that he enjoyed it a lot, but that's also a very linear game, and it seems like Insomniac. Is it Insomniac that puts them out?
Yeah.
Because I know on the few other times that we've talked about it, I keep saying Activision, and that's incorrect. But I'm curious to see what they do with that. It's going to be weird.
What else was I going to say? So, you and I were talking before the cast started. Going into Comic-Con a little bit more, we are planning on debuting the finished product of the Driving Arcade. And to give some update on that is we officially finished the decals today. So it is time to print these out, see how they look. Of course, as you know, the arcade is finalized. And if you don't mind, I would like to share some screenshots of what we are doing. And I'll kind of walk you through the arcade to show where everything goes. So what we're looking at is the first decal that's going to go on the back of the seat. So it'll go right over here. And everything's already measured to fit. So I just have to output these to go. This is part of the console. The black indicates where the steering wheel is going to sit, but it'll go right across here. And we're going to be designing, which is the only thing I have left, is a square button to put there to be able to push to fire your turtle shell and select your weapon.
What if you're dropping a banana?
Or dropping your bananas. This is the left side of the arcade that we're looking at. So that will go here. And if you pay attention, I have the different circuits or different cups on the bottom. And that continues into the following decal after that. which is the base. So you have the other 4 cups listed right there, and they should run along concurrently, almost seamlessly from the arcade to the chair. There might be a slight offset because of user error applying some of this stuff on, but that's both sides. And let's see, am I missing something? I am. Why is it not showing everything? Interesting. So let me try to share this folder real quick.
While you're doing that, did you know that in the early 1900s, people would actually carry on banana peels and slip on them, basically so that they could sue, like railway stations and shit? It's an actual thing.
I don't feel like banana peels are slippery enough to be slipped on.
They would get settlements out of it. I mean, this was like the early 1900s. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
So this, I don't know why it's skipping the other last couple ones, but this is the marquee that we plan on using. Keep it simple. So we have Bowser and Mario in the middle, Namco, Nintendo. And then we always do the title screen. So the title screen is very similar. And then lastly, the character select screen. So this will be the decals that we have for the first arcade. The one thing I am a little worried to cut is I'm not a big fan of curved edges. So these curved edges are going to be interesting, but I tried to make the arc like wide enough so that it would be easier to follow and cut. I was worried about like a drastic change, kind of like the one at the bottom, how it kind of angles in a little bit. Those are the ones that I'm worried about. But the one where the screen's at and the one where the back's at should be a piece of cake. We are probably only going to bring about 5 of these arcades with us to start out with. So if you really want to get one at the lowest cost possible, this would be the place to do it. Otherwise, after the con is done and all the dust is settled, we'll start putting the arcade online for people to order. I don't know if I went over it, but we did make one more change. This is at a 10-degree angle. I adjusted the final copy to be at a 15-degree angle, so slightly higher, so it definitely clears the knees of any character that you have coming in.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and this is magnetic, by the way. So the best way to do this is to place it in your character's hands first, and then adjust this so the column will pull out to where your character is sitting. But I suggest getting the feet right first and then adjusting those arms finally so that the column can hit to make sure you
Kind of like you did with the Batmobile insert.
Exactly. Well, the cool thing about the Batmobile was that it fit almost any Batman because of the way the legs sat on that one. It was basically like
it was just like a hollow thing, hollow chassis.
Whereas this one is a little bit more tricky. You have a finite stop, and even though you can adjust both the seat and the slide, some characters have shorter arms than their legs. Like the Xanatos figure, for example. He doesn't really reach out like this, so
it's the guy from Gargoyles.
Yeah,
I can tell by the animated style.
You can see his legs stick out much further than his hands. Most of the other characters that we have or I've used on this are more forgiving. This one is not so forgiving, but we are able to get him in there. I've posted pictures or shared him on the live before. So
yeah, I mean there's going to be some play that you have to do to get things in there, especially if it's a McFarlane diaper figure. You're just gonna have to play around with them a bit.
Or not good.
Can I move on, or are you good?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
One thing I want to bitch about is all these Mezco releases hitting me at once. Like, goddamn, I got Prune Face because I wanted the suit, honestly, and he looks like an old Thanos. But so his shipping, Spider-Man just came in stock on Big Bad Toy Store, so I just got charged for that. And then I got the notice that Mezco Snake Eyes is going to be shipping soon. And I'm like, God damn it, everything over and over, just like one punch after the next with all these things coming out. Like,
You just named 3 things I did not buy. So,
well, I'm also getting the Gambit re-release, so that's going to be charged in February. Hush Batman, the blue suit, yeah, came in restock on Big Bad Toy Store. Had to get that because that sold out really fast. Like, just all these things, man, all these things.
I really want that
Yeah.
Mezco Void Wars though. So if you guys want to convert that wait list, that'd be super nice, man.
That would be really nice to see.
don't
I have
think
to.
I'm gonna do it.
So I'm not insane enough to fucking threaten them with litigation, but I do need to email them about my Bartholomew Vex shipping out because I got paid for him. My waitlist on him converted, so I need to receive my figure that I paid for. But like, someone literally contacted them, and it got to the point where they threatened legal action against Mezco. I'm like,
Wow.
you're insane, dude. It's January. Like, there was a holiday rush. Like, people are still doing things. Like, it's a figure. Breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I understand people getting frustrated with customer service and everything because, like, I've called banks and other things that are just like bullshit, like the DMV, and I understand getting frustrated with them, but like, you're not helping yourself when you're a dick to them. And like, I was a dick to the DMV because I don't care about them. Well, I wasn't being a dick to the woman I was speaking to because she's just doing her job, but like, I said it was bullshit. So like, I didn't renew my registration on time, so my tag was expired. And when I renewed for 2 years, saw that there's a good amount of time that was knocked off. Like, I renewed in December, and then I saw that there was a difference. So it wasn't quite like I was renewing for 2 years. I was there. You bastards prorate this? Basically, I renewed my registration for 2 years, but it renewed from when it expired and 2 years from that date.
Righty.
That's
Right.
bullshit.
Yeah, it is bullshit.
That's bullshit. But they've got to get their money somehow. But yeah.
Void,
So, like,
oh my god.
what?
Looking at the Void Cadet Gomez Red Eye Night Edition, $49.90 on eBay and $5.50 on eBay.
Yeah, you guys are insane. Like, meth isn't that cheap or that expensive. Like, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Don't buy the figure. Just don't buy the figure. If the whole reason you're buying something is so that you can try and get 5 times what you paid for it, you're doing it for the wrong reason. I'm just going to say that now. And if it alienates me and you hate me because of it, I don't care. If you get something specifically to flip it around and make a profit off it, I hate you. There was a guy who was doing that.
Yeah.
And he was making that is not figures, like computer parts and all kinds of things. And like, he was, and it wasn't even like COVID related stuff. It's something he'd been doing for years and he was making money off of it. And I'm like, this is not the way things are. And like, it's weird because like our society's driving us to that point where like everyone has to make a quick buck. And I know I'm preaching a bit right now, but like, it just pisses me off that like have to make that quick buck. And I'm like,
Yeah, I don't know. It's not for me. Even when I resell figures, I think I ask for costs in most times. Especially when they're new and I don't want them. I'm not looking to make a profit. I'm just looking to make my money back. I noticed that some people do have a hustle where they'll charge double for the figure to pay for the one they decided to keep. So they essentially kind of paid for their figure and the figure aftermarket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That and then the scalpers, of course, which are astronomically higher, usually over than 2.
I'm more bothered by the scalpers, honestly. I don't necessarily agree with people who buy 2 of something and then they flip the second one to make up for their purchase, but I have less of a problem with that because they are whatever, like fuck me, but they're at least buying the figure for themselves too. But I don't know, it's just weird. It's just weird. And like I know that I'm not necessarily right in hating people or disliking people for doing that. And
It's a hustle. It's not for me, and it's not something that I would condone or impose on anybody else. But at the same time, I'm not knocking you for doing it. Although if you're like the 580 on eBay, you're a dirtbag. Good
well,
for
there was
you
a
if you
guy,
sell it, but you're a dirtbag.
there's a guy who in Mezco Facebook group, once in a while he'll come out of the woodwork and say he'll make a post because he has original Punishers, like the original Punisher run that Mezco put out. And I actually have one of those, fortunately enough. And like I bought it used at a good price and I'm never getting rid of it because I actually like it. Although I don't know where one of the guns is. I think it's with another figure. But yeah, I don't know how that happened. I think when I was packaging it, it fell out and then I never realized it until I was moving and then found it and then put it in like a box or something. So I have the gun. But anyway, this guy will come out of the forest and say, well, I'm selling some of my Punisher figures, and he's selling them for 400 a piece. And I'm like, dude, you were literally sitting on these. Like like, no, just stop. It's dumb. Well, my mortgage is due. Time for me to sell some of these hoarded action figures. Like, no, I'm a hoarder because I'm insane and I have problems, not because I'm insane like you and have problems. I don't know. I can't deal with the hustle.
Yeah, it's too much. I don't know. It's just like I said, it's not for me.
Yeah, it's not my thing. And if I offended anybody, you'll get over it. I mean, seriously, like you have to have thick skin in order to do it because I'm not the only one who's going to express that opinion. Like seriously, uh, sorry that I took a stance on something that might be alienating. Although, I don't know. What else you got? Anything?
No, that's all I got. That's all
It's
I
kind of
got.
a dry week.
Yeah.
Happens.
At least the stuff that we would pay attention to. It probably
Yeah.
isn't. Oh, I know Loose Collector announced that they're doing like a 9-inch werewolf. It looks cool, but I don't think I have or want another werewolf in my repertoire. I have the classic one that Jada Toys put out, and then I have the other one that Foray Toys put out. So I think I'm good. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. These are the ones. I can pull those up real fast.
Yeah.
Share screen window. Yeah, I don't know. It's not my thing.
The white one definitely, or the gray one looks better to me, but
Okay, yeah, here we go. Voslak. Yeah, you can definitely see the detail on this one better. That was weird. Yeah, these are hyper stylized too. I mean, they actually don't look bad, but it's just I don't know. Oh, I forgot about that one. The Great Wolves. In Vaslak, yeah. Yeah, okay, here we go. I do remember seeing this one. Yeah, oh, they're the company that did the weird ass crypt monster.
Sathanas.
Wait, what? That's weird. Normally they put stuff that's sold out at the bottom. Oh, wait, did I sort? Gotcha. Cool. I don't think I have anything else, though.
Okay. Well, in that case, have a good night, everybody.
Have a good week.
Have a good month.
Black History Month.
Is it spiel time?
Yeah, do your spiel.
All right. Well, if you guys want to hear more of our thoughts, tune in every Sunday at 8 p.m. live right here on YouTube. You could head to our website, shadowmoses112.com, to purchase any of our products. We do everything from arcades to ice fridges, things you would normally see in front of a 7-Eleven or a bodega, to add our accessories to your collection. Or you could slide to our Instagram to get all the updates, such as we just announced that we're doing Awesome Con, the updates that we're doing to the driving arcade, some of our recent pickups or reviews that we put online. Just to go ahead and check those out. And don't forget that 2.5-inch figures are for kids.
And as we get closer to the con, we'll probably be announcing what else we might have there. Like Pete said before, if you have anything that we produce that you would like to see there, let us know, because we can try and have stuff in advance. Again, this is Awesome Con in the Washington, D.C. So if you're going to message what stuff you'd like to see there, be mindful that we're half expecting you to be there in order to pick it up in person, because we want to meet people who are buying our stuff rather than just like cruising around a con to look around. Like, if you're there and you want to meet us, like that'd be cool too. I don't know why you'd want to, but I mean, maybe I'll cut my hair by then. Doubt it. And then there was something else. Normally we're more energetic than this. Tonight is a weird night, I think. Like, I know that I'm exhausted right now, but normally it's a little more lively. So I just want to say it's Sunday, and Sunday scaries are creeping in everybody's brains. Just trying to slowly ruin our lives as we make it through this.
We have the Super Bowl next week.
Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely watching that. So should we do an early show or do we do a pre-recorded show?
We can't. Do we have the technology to pre-record?
I think StreamYards offers up to like 5 hours or 3 hours or something like that.
With our current version?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it didn't have any.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see. I forgot the Super Bowl is coming up. So yeah, just follow us on our social medias, and you'll figure it out as we figure it out. Otherwise, goodbye, everybody. Keep waving, keep waving, keep waving, keep.